Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a updated collection tour. I haven't done one in a while, so I figured I've done some changes to the office area. This is actually my main display area. My secondary display area is where my transformers are. So I think I've shown this enough a couple times, but I've done some updates to it, a few changes here and there. I'm going to walk you guys through it for 2026, kind of let you see where things are starting off, and kind of talk through what the next plans are as we continue to update this room and just kind of get it at the point where have it at perfection, or at least my level of perfection. What I'm looking for as far as the display goes. So a couple of add-ons that we've done, and we're going to go and start talking through that. So just one more little pan of the room, and we'll get started. I guess we'll start here. So this is my Herman Miller embodied gaming embody. Love this chair. I've had it now for, I guess, a couple years. Pretty amazing, or maybe a little over, right at almost 2 years. Pretty amazing chair, great for my back. Aesthetically, it looks really good, but I mean, extremely comfortable. I work from home, so I spend a lot of time sitting at my desk. So definitely wanted something where don't have to worry about that at all. And this chair does a great job of, keeping your posture right. It's definitely ergonomic, and it's super comfortable sitting for a long period of time. Same setup as before. I got my Logitech 915 and G502X Plus. Keyboards all mapped out to my favorite two colors, orange and blue. And I've got the Yeti GX mic, and in the G560 speakers. So pretty much all Logitech G setup as far as the setup goes, and then just the Logitech Brio 4K camera that I use for work. Something a little different, as you can see, the display's been set up now. Kind of have the room split a little bit at this front part of the wall between my favorite two characters, Boba Fett and Ultra Magnus. So, and I've got the monitor set up just like that, just for you guys for today, just kind of see what that looks like, kind of give you a little bit of it, I guess make it a little bit more obvious. And in here, right above my desk, I've got my Ultra Magnus side and my Boba Fett side, and that actually splits to the room as well. So on my left-hand side, I've got like Boba's Corner, which is all Boba Fett stuff. And on the right-hand side, I've got my Ultra Magnus stuff, comic books and Masterpiece figures. I am waiting on my Light Customs Fans Toys Marge. That'll go right here on the side of the desk right here. So it'll be kind of mirrored with Boba on this side and with Marge on that side, Ultra Magnus. As you guys know, my favorite version of Boba Fett is his Daimyo suit. Even though it was basically his literally weakest version, it's easily the dopest suit, and that's kind of why I have it set up there. And of course, I'm an OG trilogy guy, but I do appreciate the stuff that Disney did with, at least from the aesthetics point of Boba Fett. So, but we want to get you guys started. So we're going to start here in the corner. So this is all new. I added this cabinet here in the lighting. This is like a little $90 corner table I got from Amazon, and it's actually got really cool because it's got power on the back with USB ports and outlets. So I've got him plugged in full time. It's the quarter scale Boba Fett Deluxe Edition with the diorama base, and on the left I've got the 2-pack. This is the Tython Boba 2-pack with with the Tusken Raider Boba Fett from when they first met Mando and Tython, and then this is the recovered armor when he got his gear back. He's been in that pose. These guys have been in this pose like since I got him. I think I've adjusted the Tusken Boba Fett once, but the this version here, the Tython Boba, I've loved that pose since I got him. He's been there. And I really like this setup now because, and lastly, I've got this is the Disney Infinity Boba Fett. I've got just a couple of those laying around just because I really like those figures. Just kind of add a little bit of a proximity piece kind of almost to the other stuff we have. But again, like I said, I really like this suit, and you'll see it. I've got multiple versions of this suit in different sizes and scales. But I really like the diorama set, and I wanted to have these 200 diorama bases. And it just kind of really goes in with this setup here. So this is kind of what I have in the corner. And down low, this is really just as a placeholder for right now. But this is my, I think this is a third scale Boba Fett bust. It's like limited edition. This is, I don't know, like almost 30 years old. And then it's Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. And then I've got a couple pops here. This is the Daimyo Boba Fett look, which of course, like I said, is my favorite look. And this is actually my, the same thing, the Tython version. And this is actually a gift from my son, who kind of started off me decorating my office. So, you know, it's kind of his fault this thing is kind of blew into where it was, but he just really kind of got me the inspiration to get back into collecting. On my left side of my desk is, you know, Daimyo Boba Fett, and I have him on the Cobb Vent base. I really actually forgot I even had this, and I was looking at some stuff on Cobb Vent, watching his video, because I do have him, of course, and you'll see him later. And I was watching Justin's video. I was like, oh, dude, I forgot how good his base is, but it's too big to really fit where I wanted it. But this Boba came with the sand base, which is trash. And so, and I had him on the, for the longest, you guys probably saw, I had him on the Arena Suit Boba Fett base. But I really like this diorama base. I think it kind of plays into this side of the room, since I've got diorama bases here. Just makes it look just a little bit more, I guess, relatable, you know, brings that whole little area together. So when I'm sitting at my desk, I've got that view there, you know, which is kind of neat. So yeah. So that is the desk setup. Okay, and I forgot the last two things I got on here. I've got, this is the Magic Square 6-shot. This is part of the 2-pack that came with Ultra Magnus. You'll see him in a second. Germ Collectibles coin. This is actually, I think this is iron, but it's a metal coin, and it's actually raised. So you can see it there. And this side is ceramic. But I'm a big Art Germ fan. You guys will see in a second if you hadn't seen. But I'll go through that in a bit. And then this is my second copy of Ultra Magnus. This is the blockies. I have two more versions of them, and this is like my desk fiddler. So 6-shot won't stay there, but I have them there for right now. So, and then right above the desk, we've got the Tamashii Nations, a movie realization Boba Fett. This is the Daimyo set. Again, same look. This is my Boba Fett. This is Return of the Jedi. I've had this one for a long time. Just a fixed figure. This is the Hasbro Black Series, not Black Series, Vintage Collection. Daimyo Boba Fett. Got him like for like $7, so I had to pick him up. This is the Hot Toys Cos Baby Daimyo Boba Fett on Throne. Again, like I said, I love that suit, so I have so many different versions of them. And this is a die-cast Slave 1. I had this for a long time. It was sitting on the stand. It's really nice. They did a great job with the detail and stuff like that. And I wanted to have a way of mirroring this setup, since I've got this shelf split between Ultra Magnus and Boba Fett. I wanted, you know, the vehicles form. So, you know, his vehicle here and then Ultra Magnus here. So we've got the Funko Ultra Magnus. This is the Dr. Wu, a mini-con, I guess, micro-con Transformers. These things are super cool because they're full Transformers. They look amazing. Super 7 Ultra Magnus. And then I've got, this is the Magic Square Ultra Magnus. I just got this in a couple days ago with that. It's a 2-pack, part of the 2-pack with 6-shot. And this is an Ultra Magnus fixed figure here. Again, like I said, I've just got them where the shelf is mirrored, perfectly split down the middle, you know, so just to keep that aesthetic going. So, yeah, but like I say, that's, you know, so you guys didn't know, my favorite two figures, or it's my favorite two media is, or IPs is Star Wars and Transformers. And my favorite two characters are Boba Fett and Ultra Magnus from those IPs. So, all right, we're going to get in the rest of the setup here. So first here, we got my GeForce setup. So this is harkens back to probably the oldest poster I have. This is actually from a comic book shop that I used to live near when I lived in Georgia. And these guys were pulling this poster down, and the guy, I walked in, the guy asked me if I wanted it. I'm like, sure, and gave it to me while I was buying some other stuff. So, but this is actually a full Japanese advertisement for the Laserdisc setup. And so all 13 discs from, I think this is from 94. So yes, like 32 years old. So super cool. We'll start here to the left. This is actually Battle of the Planets. This is the 2004 Image Comics. This is issue number 6. Battle of the Planets Princess, and it's got June the Swan on the front of it. And here, this is right below her. That comic book, I've got the Storm Collectibles, June the Swan, which I just picked up. She's been sitting in my cart forever, and I finally decided to go and get her because I know I wanted her. So just was hoping BBTS would put her on sale, but of course they did not. So I had to pay a full price for it, but it's fine. Definitely something I wanted, so not a big deal. Next, we got the 2024. This is what Gatchaman number 1. Limited edition. This is SEC foil version variant. And this was limited to, I think, 200 copies. Great looking piece. Again, like I said, most of the comics I have is just really for artwork. I'm not really collecting for anything like, value or anything like that at all. I do have a few I've sold here and there, but it's really just to make room, and I don't want to keep anything I just don't really need. This here is the Storm Collectibles Ken the Eagle. Like I said, I've got him in a ground pounding pose, and I've got June here kind of landing in a softer land. But yeah, love those guys. Great figures. If you don't really have anything from Storm Collectibles, you really should check them out. They do pretty amazing work. And like I said, again, here it's a better shot of the movie, the ad poster right above there. That is just a little plaque my wife gave me. So that is what has been up in my office ever since. So starting here, we've got my Ultra Magnus set up here. This has got 5 different comic books here and 2 different Masterpiece Ultra Magnuses. So first one here is the, what is this? This is the 2025 Skybound. This is actually limited to 500 copies. This is John Jiang signed. So really love his stuff. Such a cool, robotic take on his artwork. And I just think it worked so perfectly for Transformers, and he crushes his Transformers cover. So definitely love to have that one there. Like I said, you can see it signed right there. Okay. Next is the 2024 Skybound Transformers number 11. This is a incentive variant that I got. So really hard to find. This is usually when the comic book stores, they order a bunch and then they get one of these for buying. And like I say, it's super hard to find. But love that cover with him and RC. Definitely love that look there. Great cover. And this is my 86 Transformers the movie. This is the first book of 3. You can see it's number 1 in the 3-issue limited series. But this is an original 86 copy. Love it. It's in great shape. Haven't really thought about getting it graded, but it's definitely in good condition. I'm sure I could probably get with these old books, you don't get much out of them. Maybe a 6 or a 7, 5 if you're lucky. So, but actually, I don't have really any graded books other than one, just because I really like the look of them, just treating them like artwork. Next to that is the 2022 IDW Shattered Glass 2. And this has got Ultra Magnus and his Shattered Glass form. And as we know, in this book, Ultra Magnus was pretty beast, and he had this kind of demon kind of skull that he was using as a cover up. I don't want to spoil it too much, but you can kind of see there from the cover of the book. So yeah. And this was the Materia incentive variant as well. So this was actually, I think it was a 1 in 10. So it was a ratio cover. Pretty hard to get. But like I said, most ratio covers are, and that's why, and I like to have those up. If you notice, most of my collection will be ratio variants. Unless it was just something that was super cool. I really love this cover here. This is a 2024 Skybound. This is a Daniel Warren cover. I guess Daniel Warren cover, Johnson cover. Just kind of really makes Ultramagnus look really kind of heroic, and it's a bright cover, and it's a great contrast to the other covers on the wall. So I do really like that look. And then here we've got the Takara Masterpiece Ultramagnus. This is an official Takara, it's not a knockoff. And then that's what the MP22, I think that's what it is. And then it says MP31, which is the Delta Magnus. And of course, Delta Magnus, the recolor for him is also the same for Shattered Glass. And so just a cool look. I like that mold, especially in truck form. I mean, it looks pretty stellar. So I've got both copies of that. And like I said, I'll have Missing Link coming up here. I'm going to have those on the wall too. Right underneath, I'll have the Delta Magnus and Ultra Magnus underneath. And I'll have one, I have one of each transformed in a robot mode, kind of down the center here. So, but we'll see how that comes out. But I do have 2 of each on order for Ultra Magnus. So I'm not really picking up any of really the Missing Link other than that and the Dinobots, because Dinobots is my favorite team. So I will pick those guys up as well. Here, we've got the 2023. This is Wonder Woman #1. This is Art Germ. This is my only graded comic book. This is a really kind of like an updated version of his Deviant Art Wonder Woman I really fell in love with, I don't know, 2011, 2010, something like that. It is a 9.4. It's got a custom label from Art Germ. And it's signed by him, of course, a signature series yellow label. I'm excited to have that one framed. Really like the look. I'm sorry about all the reflection, but it's got me, see if I can get a better angle here. Yeah, there you go. But like I said, Wonder Woman is my favorite female superhero of all time. So I have a few versions of her up in the comics way as we go through. First, 12 scale figure I have on the shelf here. I'm kind of back up. I'll show you that wall. Kind of see what that looks like. Ooh, coming to focus. So I've only got a few 12 scale figures up here. This is the SH Figuarts, Wonder Woman 84. And if I can get this to focus, there we go. And I've got her with the Mezco 112 Wonder Woman. I think this is the comic version. Sword and Shield, because I wanted to have a Sword and Shield. Just because she only came with the lasso, just because in the movie, of course, 84, in this suit, she didn't have the sword. Next, I have the Mafex Golden Armor Wonder Woman. I sold this one. It's so funny, and I actually bought it back again. Sold it for more than I paid for it, because when I bought it, I got it from Big Back Toy Store on sale during Christmas time. So, but I decided I want to have it on display, because I do love that, because you'll see that look for her. And the Wonder Woman also pairs to the comics right on the other side. So, and she's almost in the same stance that she is on the comic here. The Wonder Woman 84 suit, and then the golden armor, I just have that mirrored over, but we'll see. I'll get a wider shot in a second. And I have her with, I bought this Sword and Shield off of eBay, just so she'd have something that really kind of matched up, and I think was such a great fit. You guys let me know if you're interested in that Sword and Shield. I can put the link in the comments below, but I bought it. It was like $60, I think. I got it from a guy in Singapore, and it was, I mean, just exceptional craftsmanship, paint, detail for the Sword and Shield. They did a great job on it. So, and then here I just have a few of my favorite 12 scale figures. So I've got Gina Carano, Cara Dune. I've got the Bix Kayleen mashup Mandalorian I made with the Bo-Katan. Is that the Credit Collection body, which I really love how that turned out. And I said, just when I got rid of all my 12 scale, I just couldn't get rid of that. This is what is this? This is Kid Boo, but I can't remember the name of the company makers. Tons and Arts, Kid Boo, and this is the B version. So they make an A and a B. One was cartoon color and one was animation color. So, but yeah, love that. You know, Kid Boo is my, I guess, probably my favorite villain from Dragon Ball. Him and Broly for sure, but Broly kind of counts as a Saiyan. He's my favorite Saiyan. So we got Miss Marvel here, and I love her in this look because this is her yellow hair look from Superhero Squad, and which is something I grew up watching. I ended up watching with my kids when they were younger. So always loved her in this. So I had to get that version of her. And I will have another one added to the shelf. I got Power Princess coming in from Retro Robo Toys. So looking forward to that. And then Captain Carter, because I love all things Captain America. And Peggy, I think, looked awesome in this. Such a great job they did with her. So animation model. So, all right. And next thing we're going to do is jump over to the wall here. So I'll kind of pan out a little bit so you guys can see. So the Wonder Woman photo comic books, along with the Wonder Woman figures. I'll probably do some adjustment. That wall's not permanent over here yet, but I'm still trying to figure out how I want it to actually look permanently. So my first wall is going to be my movie wall. So that's got some of my favorite movies up there. I've got, the Snyderverse with BVS, Transformers the movie, of course, with the Ultra Magnus. Trailer poster, I guess the teaser poster, and then Ghost in the Shell, which is one of my favorite animes. It really kind of got me into anime, honestly, was Ghost in the Shell back from '95. So let's start over here with these. So this is the 2017 Wonder Woman number 31. This is a New York Comic Con exclusive. This is an exclusive wool variant of Gal Gadot. Such a great cover. The foil with the sun behind her looks amazing. You've got the 2021 DC Future State. This is actually the Gal Gadot cover, but this is actually drawn by Germ. So it's just amazing how such a good job he did on that. And so, and I'll talk more about that when we get to his wall, because I've got hopefully get some of these signed. We've got the BVS poster. There was 3 different versions of Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman from 2016. And so I've got the Wonder Woman here because big fan of Gal Gadot, and like I said, big fan of Wonder Woman, so wanted to have that one up. This is the Transformers the movie poster. Again, this is the one that's got Ultra Magnus on it, which was the teaser trailer when everybody thought he was going to be the big superhero. And it was a little bit of a loss leader, which is kind of cool. What a great way to tease that movie and not give it all away. Even though they showed everybody on it, they got Rodimus right here. And yeah, such a cool thing. And then here we've got Ghost in the Shell. This is the original movie release poster from, what's this, 98? No, 95, sorry, 95. And again, Motoko Kusanagi, one of my favorite absolute anime characters of all time. So love this. This is back when manga, or it was called manga, was the distributor for all the anime we got in the U.S. before we could get it directly. So these guys really brought the heat for us. Appleseed, Pat Labor, all those guys. So this is my Dark Horse Comics. This is original 1995. This is issue number 1, Ghost in the Shell, and this is issue number 8. And this is 8 of 8, and I do have all 8 copies of this, or all 8 issues, but I just have the first and the last up, just so they have representation. So I'll back out, give you guys a wider shot of that. All right, so we'll pan over here to this is my Art Germ wall and my Hot Toys wall, which probably most of you guys came here for the Hot Toys portion of it. But super happy with my comic book collection. Really love how this turned out. I've got right now all pure art, which is what Art Germ calls virgin variants, but all pure art versions on the wall. So I wanted it to look like art, and I really like comic books for this section. And also added some actual art prints on the side with some 12 by 16s. To kind of book in that look, but I wanted to really kind of have the comics in case, like put a top on my Hot Toys collection. So we'll start over here. This is the 2015 Power Girl. This is a 12x16 art print by Germ. This was actually a Sideshow exclusive print, and then he did some reprints, so I actually picked one up, and I'm going to see him at Kansas City Planet Comic Con in March. So I'm hoping to have a lot of these signed and remarked, so that'll be an expensive trip for the ones I don't have signed. This is the 2017 Supergirl number 16. This is limited to 1,000 copies only. This was a Mexican foil limited edition print, and it is signed by Germ. Up here you have the 2022 Wildcats. This is with Zealot on the cover. This was limited to 1,000 copies, and this is actually copy 582 of 1,000. So again, I try to get ratio covers or limited edition covers for the art, and just stuff that I really like. And I like Zealot because the artwork's so super cool, and she kind of mirrors how this collection works. So let me pan back out because that probably makes sense. So I kind of show you guys what's going on. So the middle is and you work your way out. So I have two versions of Psylocke, and then you back out from there. You have Power Princess and Wonder Woman, which are basically the same character, just one's DC and one's Marvel. You back out a little bit further, you have Power Girl and Rogue, which really have the same power set. And Power Girl's like one of my favorites as well. Rogue is, of course, one of my favorite Marvel characters. And you back out from there, you have X-23 and you have Zealot. And X-23, of course, she's known for her claws and her healing factor. She's basically a female Wolverine. Well, Zealot has the same power set. She has healing factor is so strong that she basically... she can seem to be immortal because it's so hard for her to die, just like X-23. So she doesn't have claws, she uses swords, but that's kind of how I have it set up. So this side is all DC, and this side is all Marvel. And you'll see when we get to the Hot Toys, I've kind of got it set up the same way too. And then for Supergirl and for Emma Frost over here, I'll show you guys a close-up of hers, but that's really just, I have those mirrored because I really didn't have anywhere for them to go. And I really wanted to keep that Supergirl, and the Emma Frost is just stellar. So, but yeah, so let me get back over here. So, like I said, this is Power Girl number 1. This is actually signed by Germ as well. Foil variant. So all my DC comics are foil, except for this Absolute Wonder Woman number 1. This is spot foil. So her tattoos on her arm are actually are the only thing that's foil. But this is a super, super hard one to get. This was actually the 2025 DC Absolute Wonder Woman number 1. It's a Fan Expo exclusive, and you can only get it in the VIP blind bag. So this was a 1-for-5 variant ratio out of all the blind bags they offered. This thing is the most expensive book I have. It's crazy what these are going for unsigned. So I'm going to have mine signed and remarked when I meet Germ, when I see him at Planet Comic Con. So next we have the X-Men Age of Revelation Overture. This is number 1. This is the 1/100 pure art variant with Psylocke on the cover. Psylocke is probably my favorite. Yeah, she's my favorite Marvel character. And so I do have my 2 favorite versions of her bookmarking or bookending. The Amazing Spider-Man number 1 with Black Cat on the cover. This is a signed this was like limited to the 1,500 copies as well. I don't have any love for Black Cat at all, but this portrait on this cover made me pick this up, just how stellar it was, and make it the centerpiece of my collection. So yeah, just exceptional art, just can't beat it. This is Psylocke number 1. This is actually her own series, and this is from, I'm trying to remember, what was this from? Oh yeah, it's from 2024. And this is 1/100 ratio variant. This is my dual sign. This is Jason Aaron, favorite comic book writer, and Germ. This is the Heroes Reborn number 1. This is 1/200 pure art variant signed with COA. And all the ones I have that are limited edition or signed have a COA on them. So this is the 2024 Uncanny X-Men limited edition to 1,000 copies. So this is one that's really, really hard to find on the aftermarket under like $400. Such a great, even out of, not even graded, it's such a great pickup. But this Rogue is X-Men 97 all day long. Such a great look for her. This is one of my more recent adds to the collection. This is the 2024 NYX second print of the X-23 cover. And this is actually signed. It's so funny because this is the second print and it's even more limited than the original print. The original was red and white background, and this is kind of showing blood, and this is, you know, more artistic. So I really wanted this version here because blue is my favorite color. And that's what we got there. Then here we've got the 2023 Sins of Sinister. This is number 1. This is a 1/100 as well. Pure art variant with Emma Frost on the cover, and this is just top notch right there. And then here we've got another art print. This is the 2016 DC Harley Quinn. I have this cover for comic, and I wanted one that didn't have the words all on it, and they didn't make a pure art version of it. So I decided to go and buy the print and then book in my Hot Toys shelf with that, because I do have that version of Harley Quinn coming from Hot Toys. So I guess kind of coming, but it's not the same outfit, but the same look for her. So, and here for the collection, we'll jump into the Hot Toys real quick before we go to the other wall and finish up. So the way I said, on this side of the wall for artwork is DC. So my top shelf over here underneath is DC. And then on this side here, this is all Marvel. And my top shelf over here is Marvel. Granted, even though the Marvel's in the middle, that's kind of, I'll explain that later, but that's not the same. But I do have way more Marvel comics than DC, but it's because I did pick up an extra Psylocke and I wanted both on there. So, but starting over here, so one of you guys commented that they can't believe I had a Cyborg and no Batmans, but I don't have a Batman yet because Batmans are easy to find and they're redoing them all the time, and I'm waiting on InArts because I plan on putting a BVS Batman here with the BVS Wonder Woman, which whenever the BVS Batman comes on order, but I do already have the Wonder Woman on order from Kit 16 Kit. But I've had this Cyborg since I really kind of started collecting it. 2024? It's when I started collecting Hot Toys. And this is the Fusion Reactors kit on it, so it's lit all the time. And I mean, I don't know how they would improve this if they did a 2.0, because this is, to me, one of the best right out the box figures they've ever done. I mean, I guess they got ways to improve them and have them be be USB, but outside of that, that's about it. But this shelf here will have DC figures coming in. So right now, I only have the Harley Quinn from Hot Toys, the artisan version coming, and then whenever they put up the pre-orders for InArt does for the Christopher Reeve Superman, I'll do that there. And I'll end up filling out with a few more, just my favorites. I'm not going to do team building here, just going to be my favorite ones of the DC characters I like. And I do love this Cyborg. So, and I like Cyborg in the movie, in Justice League, the Snyder Cut, and if you guys hadn't figured out, I'm a huge Snyderverse fan. So that is my Superman, my Batman. And I'm not even a big DC fan, but he really made me like DC. This is kind of what I do right here. So I don't have anything else from, DC's out there, other than maybe I might pick up the Absolute stuff. I haven't picked up Absolute Batman yet, but if they announce Absolute Superman or Wonder Woman, I will pick up the Absolute Batman and put them up here. So my favorite franchise or my favorite animated project of all time is definitely Clone Wars. So I do have a Clone Wars left and right set up here. So you have the Ahsoka and you have Maul over here, and I do have Savage coming in. I haven't got my announcement for shipping yet from Sideshow, but he is, whenever he's ready to go, he will be coming over here. So I'll have him there. And so I've got her with season 7, which is my favorite look for her, and I hope that they do a season 7 look for her from the Ahsoka show. I would love a live action version of that with Ariana Greenblatt, because I think she did a great job. And it was such a cool look for her. I've got her with 2 of the 330 and then Captain Vaughn. And then we've also got Rex here, and I have him with his Order 66, which was when he turned on Ahsoka. Not, of course I love Rex, but this Palpatine is actually from a Dooku Hot Toys I actually bought online, just so I can have him pose like that. And I've got her pose in her, when she was talking to Maul, getting ready to fight him, and she said, "Your vision is flawed." And this is her exact pose, stance and everything for that. And I do have Fusion Reactor lightsabers coming for her. They should be here next month, so I'll probably just do like a little short or something like that on that. Going down, this is the Ahsoka shelf. I've got the Ahsoka the White, which is a phenomenal figure. I mean, they did everything right on this. 100%. There's not a single miss on this figure between the look, how it turned out. Same thing with the Ahsoka Padawan. They did not miss on this at all. I'm super, super happy with this turned out. And as you can see, my figures have their arms bent, and they have been bent since I got them. At all. And I've actually bent hers even more than they were before. And no issues at all. So I know a lot of people are super concerned about medical silicon, but I'm not. I mean, if they tear, they tear, but I'm not going to have an A pose. That's just not how I get down. And I have this Deathwatch Mandalorian here, just as a placeholder until Plo Koon comes, because Plo Koon will be on this shelf. Because this shelf will be kind of like a story of Ahsoka. So if they drop the season 7 version, even if they do it as a limited edition, I'll be happy with that. I'll put her on the shelf. If not, I'm probably going to get Sabine and put Sabine on here too. And then I've got the the Padawan Ahsoka Disney Infinity figure with that one. It's kind of like the Boba Fett I had. Down here, this hasn't changed other than some of the poses. This is the Boba Fett on throne with 2 of the Commander Codys as his special guard, which I'm using, and then in my head canon for this look here. Then I've got Cobb Vanth. Of course, how can Cobb Vanth have the same armor Boba Fett has on? In my head canon, he just made an exact copy of it. And then here I've got Fennec Shan, which is one of the best head sculpts they have ever done. This figure is so phenomenal. And I've got her with a rifle up and a pistol in her hand, ready for business. But this is definitely one of my favorite ones of all. Again, that's Boba in the recovered armor or the repainted armor. So, yeah. And I have them on the bottom shelf just because I wanted, since Boba is so prominent in my collection, I wanted to have everybody else a little bit higher up. So, everybody knows I love Boba, so it's not an issue. So, up here, Captain America is my favorite male superhero, no question. So every version of Cap I can get. And I have this one here. It's so funny. This Sam Wilson Captain America from the Falcon and Winter Soldier show. This is the first Hot Toy I ever picked up. So, and I didn't buy them to collect Hot Toys. I just got them because I love Cap, and I thought this is such a great suit because it really is. It's way better than the new one. Way more aesthetically pleasing, and they just did a better job with it, I think. The blue is kind of muted, and I think it's too much like real Cap, where this gave Sam his own unique look. And so when I decided to redo the shelf, I was like, okay, Boba was sitting here before, so I had the quarter scale Boba Fett here. And with the other Boba Fett, I was like, okay, how am I going to make this work? And I decided, you know what, let me just put him here, and I put them on risers, so I've got acrylic hexagon stand for him. Sorry about the wires and all. I'm gonna have to get all that hidden in a bit, but I wanted them high because I do have Stealth Suit Cap and Bucky coming, and Bucky was Cap in the comics for a bit, so I'm gonna put those 2 here when they come in, and then I've got the this Infinity Cap there with the shield, but yeah, I've got in-game Cap with the broken shield. And then I've got 2012 in-game Cap, and I've got a Fusion Reactor scepter, Loki scepter, which I got that from Fusion Reactor a long time ago, and I mean, like I say, I've been buying this stuff, you know, a little bit here and there, and it definitely does make the setup different because you turn that off and it's just kind of like the realism pops when you have those light up effects on, especially when you know they're light up effects. So we'll move down. So here we've got my only InArt so far, not, but I do have more coming in. This is the InArt Superman BVS. I mean, stellar figure, absolutely great job with this. That's the Kryptonite staff, and I have it where basically like he had it down in front of him and then just leaned it over to the side like he had it up in his face. Just kind of an off-axis deal where everybody kind of has it like standing straight up or behind him or whatever. I do have a fusion reactor version that's coming. That lights up and flickers, so that'll be cool to have on this to add more to it. So I'm super looking forward to that. And this shelf will be just BVS. And yeah, I think that'll probably just be BVS, I'm assuming. So down here, I am waiting on my Arcane figure to come in. I've notified that Jinx should be shipping soon. And I do have Vi on order. As soon as they came out, I immediately picked them up. I love that show. I'd say it's top 3, top 5 of any guy I've ever watched in my entire life. And I have no history with League of Legends. So I jumped into this trying to figure out what it was. And I was captivated from day one. And I've seen it probably 7 or 8 times in a row. I usually play it in my office and run it in the background on one of my monitors while I'm working. I just love it, absolutely. And so these are the steelbooks, which are just placeholders for right now for season 1, and then season 2 with Echo and Caitlyn on it. So, and it's got a cool little reflective kind of look to the steelbook. So, you know, you can see Jinx's little animations and stuff like that from her brain, and her eye lights up and stuff like that. I am going to set up a ultraviolet or a black light to have Jinx's eyes glow. And just like I added light to the I'm going to add lighting for that too. So got to do that because that really is going to make that figure pop off. Down here, this is just kind of like a little placeholder. I got to clean all that up too because I've got some new cords coming in so I can actually have all that hitting. But that's my Michael Schumacher F248. Big Formula One fan. You know, hate to see him go, but, you know, I know that's kind of how it is, and I hope he gets better. But I know his condition's been deteriorating over time. So here I got the Marvel Big Six. And so you've got Mark 85, Battle Damage, Iron Man with Fusion Reactors Kit, in-game Black Widow, Unchanged, in-game Infinity War Thor with Fusion Reactors Kit, Unchanged, in-game Hawkeye, Unchanged, and then this is the concept art Cap. Like again, like I said, a huge Cap fan, and this black suit version of Cap I think was such a cool look for him. And so I do have him with the in-game Cap head sculpt because it does come with a collar head sculpt like this, but this in-game Cap came with a unmasked head sculpt. So I put that on him. Got that from that idea from Jedi Patrol. And then I just put the die-cast Mjolnir that came with Infinity War Thor, put that with him. So I have my own kind of worthy version of him. So, yeah, really like that look. Hoping we'll get a Hulk 2.0 soon. But until then, this shelf will stay where it is. And I may end up having to either redo it or get rid of some figures to have them up there. But I've got to have a Hulk. So, but we'll figure it out when it comes. Okay, next, this is the other half of the Clone Wars display. So this is my Maul DeLoreans along with the concept art Darth Maul. But he does have the Darth Maul 2.0 Phantom Menace head on him, which I think is a way better head sculpt. And this is the Maul I was looking for. And I really like how these kind of shin guard boots look mechanical in nature, which is kind of just such a unique look to him. So he kind of has a robotic look, like, because Clone Wars Maul, of course, went through like a couple different iterations of his legs. I do have a dark saber coming from him from Future Actor, so I'm gonna have him with the dark saber. And when I get Savage up here, I'll have Savage pose with him, and this is gonna be my Clone Wars display. So super dope. I love those Mandalorians. Super underrated figures. Even though they're from the Ahsoka show, I think they just fit in super well. And even the red is, pretty close to Maul. I'm hoping we get a Gar Saxon because I'd love to have one with a light up mask, like they've done with the Commandos from the Bad Batch. But we'll see how that goes. Down here, we've got my dark side shelf, kind of to emulate or to balance out my light side shelf. And this is my only Darth Vader, and I love this figure. This is the dueling effect with the cell shading. And I tell you what, this is in person, it is so much better than it looks in online. And I like it. I like it a lot. I love the red and blue opposites. Such a great look for him. Love that Vader got him lit up, of course. This is the Star Wars Celebration Anakin, or Darth Vader Sith Apprentice. Here. Picked that up, right after Star Wars Celebration. Got it from a guy. No regrets. Absolutely love that. And this is the little display it came with. And I just figured out it was kind of cool putting it in front just as like a little proximity piece, like you do with statues. So, and I've done with some of the little other icons. So I love that having that there dead center, with this being an Imperial shelf. And then here is your Dark Empire Luke with both of the sabers lit up. Love this figure. And I wanted a Luke display, but I didn't want a generic Luke, and I didn't want anybody from OT or anything like that at all. I wanted something that was unique. And if you notice, my display is definitely, for my collection, is definitely like unique pieces. Because I can have representation for Luke and look at him and not go, oh, I can only remember him from this. No, when I see Luke from everything Luke was in. So I don't have to have one of each. And I really wanted to have a really nicely curated collection, and really focus on just what I want to focus on. And this is the representation I want for this look for Anakin, Vader, and for Luke. And then at the very bottom, this is my Boba Fett shelf. This will be where all my one-off Bobas will go. So this is the arena suit, and this is the pre-production Boba Fett with the pre-production helmet on him. You can see there with the little kind of horns on it. I'm hoping that Hot Toys will redo the Kenner and the animated version, because I will put those down there. And again, like I said, I put the Bobas down there just because everybody knows I love Boba. So it's not like, because most Boba bottom shelves are relegated to like, hey, you're leaving the collection or you're not important. But for me, those are super important. Let me just pan this out a little bit here so you can get a better shot of that. So you can see what that looks like there. But yeah, so for me, bottom shelf doesn't mean that at all. All my shelves are super important. And the way I have the ones on the bottom is so they're easy to see if you're standing up. Like this, you can see everything on there. And also, everything's super well lit. So I've got to do some light into this middle section here to get some more light on the caps. But I'm still working on that piece. I'm going to figure that part out. And then lastly is my Star Wars wall. So I'm going to back up a little bit so you guys can see that. So that is my favorite 3 movies on property. So Clone Wars, the movie, which really is because of the Clone Wars show that spawned into that, which is my favorite animation property. My favorite of the 3 movies, which is Revenge of the Sith. And of course, Star Wars before it was New Hope, which is because that kicked it all off. And I'm old enough to have seen, Empire Strikes Back in the movie theater. And I saw the very next year, I saw Star Wars when it was re-released. I do appreciate those, and that what got my passion going. But I think what George did with the Clone Wars really kind of helped make all this stuff work out so much better. So let's jump over here. So here we've got the 2025 Ahsoka. Number 6, this is limited to 1,000 copies. This is a Takashi Okazaki cover. Just crazy good. Love the black and white. Love the poses. And I do have this Ahsoka. And I'm still debating if I'm going to get a Clone Wars armor um, Anakin, but as of right now, I don't. But I wanted this, I moved this. If you guys remember last time I did this poster was on this side, but I decided to move them over here so they're closer to the Clone Wars setup, and then move the Boba stuff over there so they're close to that new Boba's corner I've made. Here we have the, this is 2024. This is the Jango Fett #1. This is Derek Chu cover. I plan on having this signed at KC Planet Comic Con because he will be there with the rest of the Art Germ team. Such a great piece, and this is a good mirror for this piece here. And if you look at the collection here, I guess I should have done that too. So on this side here, everything is kind of mirrored. So top left are the outsides are mirrored. The outside bottoms are mirrored. So this side is your black, red, and white Marvel, and this is your for Darth Maul, and this is black, red, and white for Boba Fett. Here you've got a trade dress variant, and this is the only other trade dress variant, which is for Savage. We'll get there. You've got your movie prints, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi here, and you've got your comic here for Boba and your comic here for Jango, and they all look pretty similar. So I just kind of have it mirrored in that. Same thing with the helmets. You've got your whites on top and your greens on the bottom, just to kind of keep the symmetry going. So we'll go back over here. This is the Mafex Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. Such a great reproduction. I love to have it there with a good proximity to the picture. This is the 2007 Star Wars Celebration Empire Strikes Back print. This is a reproduction print. Here you've got the 2024 Darth Maul. Let's see if I can get a better angle of it without reflection. This is the black, red, and white. This is in his Crimson Dawn look, but it's really the same thing as Clone Wars. It's just, the hoodie's a little different, but I do love this. Such a great look. So I have him over here by right near himself over here. And this is the only cover that Savage was on. This is a free comic book day, Oppress Unleashed. And I really do want to have him on the display. So he'll be here next to himself pretty soon. Again, we've got the Clone Wars movie. This is from I have a brain for it. 2008. I'm a complete brain for it. 2008 Clone Wars movie, which of course spilled into the Clone Wars show. I've got Star Wars Black Series Commander or Captain Rex helmet. Here you've got the Star Wars Black Series again. This is the Empire Strikes Back helmet for Boba Fett. Got Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith movie poster. Got Black Series. This is the prototype Boba Fett. Basically, the first idea they had for him. You've got recover armor, repainted armor Boba Fett here. Got 77 movie poster here. This is New Hope. Before it was New Hope, just Star Wars. And then lastly over here, you've got the Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha #1 with Boba. That's Carlo Pagulayan cover. This is the, which one is this here? This is also a second cover because they did the Star Wars War of the Alpha. Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha. They had multiple covers for this. So the one on the left is Carlo Pagulayan, and this one over here is a signed one by Anyuk Lee. Love that one there. This is a signed 2007 Star Wars Celebration Boba Fett cover, Boba Fett print by Jeremy Bullock. Mafex Boba Fett. This is the oldest comic I have. This is a 1983 Star Wars issue number 68 with Boba Fett on the cover. Not his first appearance, but it's the first mention of the Mandalorians. And this is a 2025 Star Wars black, white, and red virgin cover with Boba Fett on it. So, I'm going to give you guys one more pan of the collection. Let me know what you guys think. Again, like I said, hopefully, I know this is a long one, but you can throw this one on as like a podcast, have it playing in the background like I do with a lot of the collection tours from the people that I follow. One last shot there. And I'll close it out with last but not least, on my super ugly couch, or ugly chair, is my OGs, originals, Build-A-Bear Boba Fett and Build-A-Bear Darth Maul with a little game claw plushie for Boba Fett. So, all right, let me know what you guys think. Give me your comments down below. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Later.